My name is Edna Sue McKee, and I haven't made a cooking video in a good while, so today it's going to be a good cooking video. It's going to take a short time to do it, but it's going to be a great cooking video. I'm going to prepare boneless pork chops and 3 cans of cream of celery soup. And you need a little casserole dish about this size, and then I'll show you what to do. First of all, you get some boneless pork chops, and I've already washed them good. And you can get up, for this number of cans of cream of celery soup, you're going to use 6 or 7 pork chops. First of all, I'm going to spray the bottom of my casserole dish real lightly with Pam, and then place these pork chops in the bottom of the casserole dish. This is a simple dish that's really good to fix if you're going to church, if you're going to work. If you're going to work and you're going to be gone all day, put all this in the crock pot. Don't put it in the oven. But if you're going to church and you're gone about 2 or 3 hours, this is a perfect dish to come back home to and everything's already done. So once you get your pork chops lined up in the casserole dish, you take 3 cans of Campbell's cream of celery soup. And I'm telling you, this stuff is delicious. I'm not a big fan of celery, but this is really good. I can eat this all day long. So it's just regular Campbell's cream of celery. And you use 3 cans. Empty those out. You get out, take a little spatula and try to get as much out. Don't waste any. Get everything out of the can that you can. And you pour them over the top of these pork chops. Once I get all the cream of celery soup into the casserole dish, then I'm going to add some water. I use 3 cans of celery soup, so I'm going to add 3 cans of water to the dish. All right, once you empty all 3 cans of cream of celery soup into the casserole dish, fill the cans up with water and add that to the mixture. 3 cans of water. This makes a delicious gravy. It's kind of like a white gravy. Jerry loves to eat this with creamed potatoes, which I'll be fixing also. But my favorite is over rice. I love rice with things like this. So once you get the water in there, you take your spatula and kind of mix it all where it's evenly proportioned with the soup. And get it all in there. And this is so simple. I'll tell you how I learned how to do this. When Jerry and I first got married, he could cook some, and this is one of his dishes that he told me about it when we first got married. And so ever since then, I bet I made this 100 times because it is super delicious. All right, everything looks like it's proportioned pretty good. So I'm gonna cover it with some foil. The oven is on 350. I let it preheat. And I'm gonna leave it, I'm gonna cover this up and then put it in the oven and let it cook on 350 for 2 hours. Try to seal it good as much as you can. You don't have to be perfect, or airtight or anything. And so once you get it on there, I'm going to put it in the oven. And then I'll be back shortly after the pork chops cook. Before then though, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to make creamed potatoes, which I'm sure everybody knows how, but there may be one or two out there that don't. So we'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back again, and the pork chops have been cooking for about a little over an hour now. So while they're cooking, I have decided to cook some creamed potatoes. And I'm sure everybody knows how to fix creamed potatoes, but there may be one or two that don't. And it really goes well with pork chops with the gravy, but I prefer rice, and I've got me a container of rice going today. So I have cut and diced 8 potatoes. This makes the 8th one, and I went ahead and cut up the 7, and I'm going to go ahead and peel the last one. And all you do is just peel the skin off of it. I hope this helps. Maybe a new bride or somebody that has never cooked before. I'm sure everybody's cooked creamed potatoes though. That's a staple. But you just peel the skin off, the peel off. And I cut up about, this will be 8, I think. And the pork chops have been cooking for a little over an hour on 350, and I let them cook a minimum of 300, for 2 hours. They can cook longer, but at least 2 hours to make them real good and tender, and the gravy real good. Once you peel your potato, each one, just wash it off. Come back to your chopping board. And I always cut my potato down one time and then down again on the second side. And I just cut them up in little pieces. You can cut them any way you want to. But this is the way I've always done it. You can cut them in circles if you want to, but they cook pretty quick if you cut them like this, dice them up. So you get them all in your boiler. And then I'm going to wash them off a couple of times, and that gets some of the excess starch off the potatoes. Just take your hand. I forgot to tell you in the beginning, please wash your hands and make sure every time you cook in the kitchen that you got clean hands. But just wash them in warm water, drain them, kind of stir them around with your hand, and you can tell the water gets a little cloudy looking. And you rinse off all that starchy water as much as you can get off. Don't have to be every bit of it. So now you're going to cover the potatoes with water. Put enough water in there just to cover them good. That should be it. And then I'm going to take them over to the oven, to the stove, and I'm going to set them here and cut them on high to start with. Once they start boiling, you can cut them down and let them cook. Just watch them and make sure they don't, all the water don't cook out of them and scorch. You don't want that. So after these potatoes have gotten good and tender, we'll come back and I'll show you how you finish them up to make them really good whipped potatoes. Okay everybody, I've got my potatoes, they're done, and I'm getting ready to finish them up, and I want to show you what to do. They've been on the stove cooking for about 25 minutes or 30 minutes, something like that, on medium heat. So a lot of people pour their potatoes in a colander, but I do it the quick way. Sometimes it's the messy way, but you drain and get all the water off as much as you can. A little bit left in the boiler won't matter too much, but get as much as you can. Okay. There's a little bit left, but I think it'll be okay. All right, bring it over to the pot holder. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, I hooked up my KitchenAid little hand mixer and I'm going to put that in there. This is the way I cream my potatoes. Start out real low or you'll sling it all over you and everybody in the kitchen. You want to get these mashed up as good as you can. I got it on 1. My mixer goes up to 9 and I got it on 1 right now, so I'm going to move it up to 2. It doesn't take long to get them mixed up and start getting real creamy. Right now they look a little chunky looking. I'm going to move it up to about 4 now. All the butter will melt and dissolve and mix in the cream potatoes. The next ingredient you want to start using is canned milk. I don't think I can cook anything without using canned milk. That's a staple for me. So you just pour a good bit of it, maybe try about 1/3 of a can right to start off with. It's going to need some more. So I'm going to put some more. So far I've used a little over 1/2 a can. Looks like that's going to be a good consistency right there. And I'm going to speed my mixer up so that everything will start getting real dissolved. And as it beats, I'm going to start adding salt and pepper to the mixture. I'll start off with pepper as it's doing that. And this is left up to you. You put what you like. There's no certain amount of that. The only way you're going to know how much salt you have is to sample taste. And this, again, you just use how much sauce you want. You don't want to get them too salty. So I'm going to take my finger. I know it's probably not a good way to do it, but my hands are clean. And I do have enough salt. I've been cooking them long enough, I pretty much know how much to put in there. Once you get them good and mixed up and creamed, that's it. And this goes really well with the pork chops. And pork chops are still cooking. They've been cooking now for 1 hour and 45 minutes, just about. And we'll have these cream potatoes to go with it. And I've got my rice that I've cooked in my Pampered Chef rice cooker. It's still in the microwave over there. I'm not going to get it out, but I prefer rice in the gravy. But we'll keep it there. I've got green beans and fresh corn cooking. And we'll have the pork chops, gravy, and iced tea. So see you in a few minutes when I get ready to take the pork chops out of the oven. If you decide to not cook them in the oven and you want to fix this and go to work, all you got to do is mix up everything like I told you to do with the cream of celery soup and put it in your crock pot, and it can cook all day long. So it's your choice. See you in a few minutes. Well, everybody, the finished product is right here on my countertop. I let it cook for about 2.5 hours today on 350, and it's the gravy's real thick, kind of thick, and the pork chops are good and tender. And this will be super delicious if you put it over these cream potatoes or either some rice. whichever you like. But this is a delicious dish, and I hope you're going to enjoy it. It's very easy to make, and this is one that your family will enjoy. It's quick for you too. Just put it on and let it cook. So until next time, bye-bye.